The B-1 Lancer is the only U.S. bomber capable of striking targets anywhere on the planet without refueling, and it carries more firepower than even the legendary B-52. Built at the height of Cold War paranoia, it was engineered to fly fast, low, and lethal, meant to end wars before they could begin. But instead of fading into retirement, the B-1 is making a dramatic return. In 2025, it's not just active, it's being rearmed with hypersonic missiles and deployed near the Pacific Front, stationed within direct striking range of China's most critical military zones. But why is this 40-year-old war machine suddenly America's ace in the sky? And what does it mean for the next major conflict? Stay with this, because the answer isn't what you expect. It started during the peak of Cold War paranoia. The U.S. needed a bomber that could go deep into Soviet territory, dodge surface-to-air missiles, and deliver a nuclear blow before enemy radars even realized it was coming. The B-1A was the answer: fast, high-flying, and menacing. But before it could fully mature, it got axed. Too expensive, too vulnerable, too risky. Still, that wasn't the end. In the 1980s, the program came back to life as the B-1B Lancer. This time, it wasn't built for speed alone. It was re-engineered to fly low, fast, and under the radar. With reduced radar cross-section and redesigned air intakes, the B-1B became a different beast entirely. Its role was clear: fly under enemy defenses and hit nuclear targets with shocking precision. But history had other plans. By the time the B-1B was fully operational, the Cold War was fading. And just like that, a bomber designed to start World War III found itself searching for a new purpose. The B-1's rebirth came with a twist. When the Soviet threat disappeared, so did the bomber's nuclear mission. But instead of fading into irrelevance, the B-1B adapted, and adapted fast. The U.S. Air Force stripped away its nuclear role and refocused it entirely on conventional warfare. What followed was one of the most effective military reinventions in modern history. The Lancer wasn't just repurposed, it was unleashed. Suddenly, this sleek, high-speed bomber could be packed with conventional bombs more than any aircraft in U.S. inventory. In conflicts like Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Iraq, it went from being a strategic deterrent to a tactical nightmare. Commanders on the ground learned to count on it. With the ability to carry over 75,000 pounds of guided and unguided bombs and deliver them with terrifying accuracy, the B-1B became known as a rapid response sledgehammer. Its swing was fast, its strike was brutal, and its impact was undeniable. And because it could loiter, re-engage, and keep delivering ordnance long after other platforms had to refuel or reload, it became invaluable. Reliable, rugged, and ruthlessly effective, it earned its keep not through reputation, but through results. Even now in 2025, 45 B-1Bs are still in service. Not because of sentimentality, not because of tradition, but because no other platform offers the same combination of payload, speed, and operational versatility. The B-1 didn't just survive, it redefined what conventional bombing looked like. You'd think a bomber from the 80s would be outdated by now, but that's where the beast upgrades come in. The B-1B has undergone a digital revolution. The Air Force installed what's called the Integrated Battle Station, an advanced suite that gave the aircraft new life. Outdated analog gauges were replaced with digital screens. Communications were overhauled. And perhaps most importantly, it was equipped with Link 16, a real-time data link that lets the B-1 talk to other aircraft, satellites, and ground units seamlessly. This means B-1 crews can receive targeting info mid-flight, adjust their missions, and operate like they're part of a modern dynamic battle network. Add in new radar systems and precision targeting tools, and suddenly, the B-1B isn't just a bomber, it's a node in America's global strike web. These upgrades didn't just keep the B-1 alive, they turned it into a digital warrior. Now here's where things get wild. In 2025, the B-1B is being tested to carry hypersonic missiles. That's right, this Cold War relic might soon launch weapons that travel 5 times the speed of sound. Hypersonic tech is the crown jewel of modern military development. It's fast, unpredictable, and almost impossible to intercept. And the B-1B might soon carry dozens of them. Engineers have tested new external pylons on the wings of the B-1 that could carry up to 36 hypersonic weapons. Not in the bomb bay, on the outside. That means more firepower, more flexibility, and far greater standoff range. Instead of dropping bombs over enemy lines, the B-1 could fire hypersonics from hundreds of miles away and still hit hardened targets before defenses activate. This changes everything. A bomber once designed to hug terrain at low altitudes is now becoming a high-tech missile truck, one that could launch a first strike in a future war and disappear before anyone knows what happened. The upgrades aren't just theoretical. In April 2025, something major happened. The US deployed B-1Bs to Misawa Air Base in Japan for operational missions. This wasn't a training exercise. It was a move with global consequences. Parking B-1s just a few hours flight from Beijing sends a very different kind of message. It's not just about presence, it's about pressure. These bombers aren't just deterrents anymore. They're frontline assets in a growing contest for control in the Indo-Pacific. Their long-range strike capabilities, when paired with mobility and speed, allow them to cover every inch of the South China Sea, the Korean Peninsula, and beyond. The deployment isn't subtle, and that's the point. It's a warning to adversaries that the US still controls the skies, and that it's willing to push heavy firepower right to the edge of conflict zones if needed. Eventually, the B-1B will step aside. The B-21 Raider is coming a stealth bomber designed from the ground up for 21st century warfare. It's smarter, quieter, and deadlier. But here's the thing. The B-21 isn't ready yet. And even when it is, it'll take time to scale. That's why the B-1B is still critical. In fact, in early 2025, the Air Force conducted a rare full fleet readiness test. Every B-1B was mobilized and evaluated for combat deployment. That's not how you treat a retiring platform. That's how you treat a linchpin in a war plan. The Raider will take over eventually, but the Lancer is still flying missions, still adapting, and still evolving in real time. The power of the B-1B isn't just in what it carries, it's in what it means. When a B-1 takes off, it tells the world something. The US has reach, speed, and no hesitation. Its 7,000-mile range lets it strike anywhere on the globe. Its payload can flatten entire military complexes. And its flexibility means it can shift from one theater to another without skipping a beat. But more than that, its very presence reinforces alliances. Whether flying with NATO forces over Europe or conducting drills with Japan, Australia, and South Korea, the B-1B is a visible symbol of American commitment. In a world full of uncertainty, that kind of signal matters, especially when paired with hypersonic missiles and cutting-edge digital systems. Deterrence isn't just about having weapons, it's about showing you're ready to use them. And the B-1B does exactly that. The B-1B Lancer should have been retired by now, but it wasn't, because it refused to be irrelevant. What started as a Cold War bomber became one of the most feared conventional aircraft in the US inventory. If you're fascinated by how military giants like the B-1 evolve and reshape the battlefield, drop a comment below. Hit the like button, share this with a fellow military enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash the bell icon, because what's coming next in military aviation, you won't want to miss it.